In this video, I'm going to tell you how to find your running average and also try to figure out, like, okay, what do I need to make on the final exam to get a C or whatever in this course. So if you go to Moodle, the last unit is not actually a unit at all. It's actually test reviews in this grade checker file. I could have put it in course documents, but I like it here because it just makes it incredibly easy to find. You either go to do the jump to, or you can just hit test reviews. It'll take you here. We've already talked about these test review materials, so there's the question pools and practice tests for all of the exams in the class. The last two things here, well, the first one is a grade checker. So let me click that right quick. This is just an Excel file. So you click it and download it, and it's just a blank spreadsheet that you can put all of your homework, quiz, tests, and final exam grades in here. It'll tell you what your overall grade is, and if you kind of do it on the way, it'll compute the running average as well. Alright, let me kind of minimize that for a second. Let me pull up MathXL. So here I am in statistics. If I go to results, it shows me all of the assignments I've actually already done. As you can tell, I made these numbers up. Didn't spend any time on them. Okay, so far I've done 3 homeworks, 2 quizzes, and the first test. So basically I've done the first 3 units of the course. I can put these numbers into my spreadsheet, and it'll tell me how well I'm doing. So homework 1, I got a 93.48. Homework 2, 95. Homework 3, 88.68. That's it for homework. Quiz 1, I got an A7.5. Quiz 2, 66, 67. And then test 1, 64.29. Alright. So the running average, it tells me right now if I keep doing the same thing in the classes I've done so far, I should expect to get about a 77. The final grade tells me if I quit the class today, I would have a 15. Don't want to do that. I mean, obviously, if you quit the class and you've only done a fourth of it, you're not going to have a very good grade. So that's what the final grade slot means. The running average kind of shows you how you're doing so far. All right, let me go back to MathXL. Again, in results, you can hit show overall score, and it'll tell you a different running average. Notice this one's a little bit lower than the one my sheet gave me. There's a couple reasons for that. One is MathXL, it doesn't have each test replacing the previous one if it's higher. The spreadsheet does. It also doesn't drop a homework in a quiz. But the big thing is the MathXL, it assumes when it computes this overall score that your final exam is going to be about the same as the exams you've done so far. This running average, it just doesn't put anything in for the final exam. It does not consider the final exam at all until you actually put a number in that slot in the spreadsheet. Alright. So in some ways MathXL is a better estimate because it averages in what it thinks you're going to get on the final exam as well, which since the final is 35% of your grade, that makes a good difference. In other ways, the spreadsheet's better because it does reverse replace the tests. So, alright. Well, let me tell you what the final grade slot's for. So let's pretend we're at the end of the class and just make up some other grades here. Doesn't really matter. This is demonstration purposes only. Oh, yeah, I don't want 847. How about 84? Okay. So with these random grades, apparently going into the final exam, I have about a 50. And I want to know, what do I need to make on the final exam to, say, get a C in the class? Well, C is a 69.5, so I'm just going to put imaginary numbers in here until I get 69.5. All right, let's try 50. Oh yeah, 50. No, sorry. 50 only gives me a 67. I need more. Now let's try 60. 60 gets me there, so let's try 58. That's okay. 56. 56 is not enough. 57? Okay, so it looks like I need a 57 on the final exam to get my C. What if I want a B? Well, B is a 79.5, so let's try 80. Oh, wow, that barely gets me. How about 78? Nope, 79. Okay, so I need a 79 on the final exam if I want to be in the class. And so on and so forth. You can play around with this final exam number and until this final grade becomes what you want it to. Now you might be wondering, well, now that I have all the grades in, this running average is the exact same as the final grade. Why do I need two separate slots? Well, it's because, again, this running average, because it's a running average, it's not going to average in anything you got 0 on. So let's say I actually missed a couple homeworks on the way. Those two zeros are reflected in my final grade, but they're not reflected in the running average. And the reason is just because the spreadsheet assumes, oh, you haven't done those assignments yet. Of course, by the time you've done the whole class, those are all way past due. So just be aware, if you're using this running average blank, it does not include anything that you got a 0 on. So if I wanted to use the running average before the final, I could change these zeros into something really, really small. And it's like, okay, now it gets the right answer. Okay. So that's how the spreadsheet works. Again, that'll tell you what do you have in the class, what do you need to make on the final to get the grade you want, all that good stuff. The other thing, if I go back to my Moodle, there's a little blurb here about your official grade. It just says, okay, once the course is finished, so if you want to see if your grade's posted to your transcript and see what it is officially, you can log into the student portal, and there you can see your official grade after you fill out evaluation for the course. The student portal, you can go to Clarendon College's main site, and it's right there, or you can just click right here. It takes you straight to it. Since I'm not a student, I don't actually have a student portal login. I can't really show you where to go from here, but this username and password is the same as your Moodle account. So just log in with that same username password. Find this course, click on it, try to look at your grade. It'll tell you, wait, before you see your grade, you need to do a course evaluation. So you do the course evaluation, and it shows you the grade. Alrighty.